Let me start that up. It's Emil. It's Emil Guillermo. See, with glasses, without glasses, here I am. Emil Amok to you. Welcome to my takeout, my Emil Amok's takeout. My takes on all things considerable for today and maybe for the next few days because I'm going to be busy. No, I might pop up. Look, I want to tell you about this show I'm doing. This is what I'm going to be doing on March 14th, 4 p.m. That is that's like a senior special. A Saturday afternoon at 4 p.m., you got to show up for this. And I don't want to see anyone looking at their watches or being fidgety. It's 4 p.m. on Saturday. Perfect for Emil Amok Anchorman with my co anchor, Walter Cronkite. That's Walter Cronkite there, that white guy. The brown guy's me with a perm, right? It looks like a fatter version of Bruno Mars, maybe. And then Walter Cronkite. Sunday, March 15th at 7 p.m., the Ides of March. And you know it's the Ides of March because, yes, the Oscars are on that. But you don't care about the Oscars. You know Sinners is going to win, right? And there's not going to be a Sasheen Littlefeather moment at the Oscars. No one's going to say, oh, well, down with war. No one's going to say that. So you can catch it on record, right? On YouTube TV or whatever watch it on record, and also you get the West Coast feed later. So March 15th, I do a show at 7. I know suicide. I'll have my own red carpet. I'll talk about my time at the Oscars. No, we're not going to talk. We're going to talk about Emil Amok Anchorman. Monday, March 16th at 7 p.m. Well, maybe we'll talk about the Oscars then and have our own red carpet. Thursday, March 19th at 7 p.m. My mother's birthday. This is my mother's birth month. If your birthday's in March, you're born in the same month as my mother. If you're a friend of mine born in March, my heart goes out to you because I know what my mother did for me. I've never quite asked you for the same, but anyway, Potrero Stage. That's at 1695 18th Street in San Francisco. I put up these posters all up and down Potrero Hill, their little 18th Street. It's kind of like their business district, like 24th Street in Mission and 24th Street in Noe Valley, right? In Potrero Hill, 18th Street is the thing if you know San Francisco. And there's the QR code, by the way. Yeah, you definitely look at the QR code. And I put my poster up. Christopher's Bookstore, owned and operated by a woman, Lael, whose mother I worked with when she was she's still doing film publicity, but when I was the entertainment reporter at Channel 4, I knew her mom, and so she gladly took my poster. Other Farley's coffee shop there, Goat Hill Pizza. Well, they didn't have any place for my poster, but outside Goat Hill Pizza there, I've got a couple cards and a poster. So all over 18th Street in Potrero Hill, all you people went to Everett Junior High School back in the day, right? Because we were classmates. Whatever happened to Emil Amok? Well, now you'll know. Emil Amok, Anchorman. There's my co-anchor, Walter. You co-anchored with Walter Cronkite. Well, for that snapshot, and it had to be a professional snapshot because there were no selfies back then. They had no idea what a selfie was. Now, no iPhones. Saturday, March 14th, 4 p.m. Sunday, March 15th, 7 p.m. Monday, March 16th, 7 p.m. Thursday, March 19th at 7 p.m. Please see this. Emil Amok Anchorman. It's Emil Amok 69 meets Walter Cronkite. Oh, wow. That might be curious. That might be interesting. It's at the playground, playground-sf.org. Get your tickets or go, click on that little QR code. It's Emil Amok Anchorman. The news made you do what, Emil? 69? What is this 69 thing? You've got to see this show. I explain it all. I talk about my brush with fame when I met Walter Cronkite. There he is in his white hair. Me with my fully grown black pre-Bruno Mars perm. Both in tux. We're at a formal gathering. I'll tell you all about it. It's an interesting story, but also it's about being addicted to news. The news made me do it. The news made me do it. And how I solved my news addiction. That's worth saying. And then this 69 stuff, you're gonna have to just see the show. You're gonna have to, it's funny. It's part of the Playground SF Comedy Fest, so that means it's got to be funny. I mean, yeah. I'll tell you what's funny. I Because I knew this was coming up on March 14th. But what did I do this week? I had oral surgery. That's right. I had oral surgery because I thought it might be funny. I thought it might be funny to look like a chipmunk. I don't know if it's that funny. Of course, we'll talk about the war. The war, of course, we'll talk about the war. Well, maybe not. Well, maybe we will. With laugh, we're going to laugh at the war. And I guarantee we will leave laughing. We will leave laughing. There it is. Get the QR code. March 14th, 4 p.m. That's a good time to see me. March 14th, 4 p.m. Also, Sunday, March 15th, 7 p.m. Sinners is going to win the Oscars. You don't want to see the Oscars. The Oscar, Conan O'Brien, fellow Harvard alum. He doesn't like to say it, but, tries to be the ginger everyman. Like that's possible, right? Then Monday, March 16th, coming back. Well, back to back to back. The Warriors don't even do back to back to back. This is back to back to back. Oh, my God. Who did the scheduling? And then Thursday, March 19th at 7 p.m. And just so you don't miss out, because I know you have FOMO, fear of missing out, you got to see all 4 shows. They're all different. I might talk about you at one show. You say, oh, Emil Muck Anchorman, did he talk about his Channel 4 experience? Well, yeah, maybe. I might talk about you. Is he going to talk about his NPR experience? Well, maybe. Yeah, you're going to have to see that. Is he going to talk about, let's see, his experience in news and newspapering? Possibly. Is he going to talk about being Filipino? Because, yeah. How can I not? Is he going to talk about the war? Yes, he's going to talk about the war. I know, because I know Emil. Loose lips sink ships, right? You got to catch it. Emil Amok, Anchor Man. Is he going to talk about Will Ferrell? Anchorman, that kind of Anchorman? Because that's a comedy. Could be. What did I find out about being an anchor? Is it a musical? You sang there a little bit. Well, I might do the fish chair in honor of Country Joe. Possibly. All right, once again, Saturday, March 14th, 4 p.m., Sunday, March 15th at 7 p.m., Monday, March 15th at 7 p.m., Thursday, March 19th at 7 p.m. This is the time to see a show like this where a newsman becomes a comedian before your very eyes. Your very eyes. Fear of missing out. Don't FOMO on me. There it is. Click the QR code. Here's what people say about the show. Comical, often profound observations, Manhattan Digest. They actually said that about my performances. Stand-up monologue rant. Enjoy keeping up with Guillermo's brilliant mind. Funny, poignant. Orlando Weekly said that about my work. Oh my God. Were they on drugs? They had to be on drugs. No, maybe they weren't on drugs. Maybe they were just on psychotropics of some sort. But maybe I don't know. You're just gonna have to check it out. Emil Muck, Anchorman, with my co-anchor Walter Cronkite. March 14th, 4 p.m. Sunday, March 15th, 7 p.m. Monday, March 16th, 7 p.m. Oh, there you go. Potrero Stage, 1695 18th Street. Just slightly over the hill from those great shops on 18th Street, Farley's, Goat Hill Pizza, Christopher's Bookstore. So many places there. I put my poster up. The bus stop. I put my poster up at a bus stop there on Potrero Hill. See me at the playground-sf.org. I have a soft spot in my heart for Potrero Hill because it was at Potrero Hill. That you're watching the World Baseball Classic, maybe. Oh, some of my finest moments on the diamond. Jackson Playground, playing for Dolores Park, 12-year-old, 13-year-old teams. Oh my God, we were great. We played. There was this Jackson had this one player. He was a monster. Sidearm. God, I forget his name right now, but everyone feared him because everyone thought they'd get hit with his sidearm delivery, except me. Except me. Got a couple hits off him. And playing in Jackson in Potrero Hill, I mentioned this to longtime Potrero Hill residents. I said, "Oh my God, Jackson Playground. Remember the smell of coffee? Oh man, I was like, that's why you're addicted to coffee now. But now, this is Emil Muck Anchorman. I talk about my news addiction. The news made me do it. The news made me do it. There you go. One last look at the QR code. Get it? And there it is up there on the screen in case you miss it. Okay, that's it. That's all I'm talking about my show. That's all. I'm just talking. All I'm talking about my show. Let's go to. This is a show we're going to talk about the news of the day, which isn't so great, quite frankly. We got a couple of shootings, one in Virginia, one in Michigan, which sort of knocked the war off the news. And then we had the message from the new Ayatollah. And wouldn't it be just great that, yeah, we went in for regime change and what we got is a younger Ayatollah, just like this new guy, or just like Trump. Let's bring on Daniel Phil Gonzalez, College of Ethnic Studies, Asian American Studies, San Francisco State University. Hi, Dan.
Hello,
Hey, thanks for
how are
being
you?
here. I'm fine. I'm fine. Hey, can you tell I'm a little chipmunky? I'm a little swollen, like I got hit by someone's left hook or something? Can you
Mm,
think?
yeah,
Can't tell.
if it was a left foot, yeah, left foot, yeah,
I'm just
we're
I
fine.
had oral surgery. I
Right.
thought maybe I can get away with. I thought maybe it would make me funnier if I had oral surgery. It did not work. Did not work.
Well, I hope it wasn't serious despite the swelling. Are you, you're not
Yeah.
in pain?
Am I what?
Pain.
Oh, no pain. Oh, because they give you drugs. That's not the reason why I did it, but they
How
give you
about
drugs.
afterwards?
Why not? What?
Afterwards.
Afterward? No, no, no. Certainly during the procedure they gave me, you know, no gas though. But they numbed me up pretty well. And then afterwards, I got some drugs, but not the good kind. Not like they give you for a colonoscopy.
Well, if yeah,
Those are
you
good
wanted to
drugs.
save money because if they use gas, there's a tariff and also helium's really rare right now.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, the gas. You can't use gas. Yeah,
It's
with
another
gas
it's
price
another gas that stopped at the Strait of Hormuz.
straight this versus this new show on Bravo, The Straits of Hormuz. That's I like reality TV. The Straits of Hormuz. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's
okay.
singular, man. There's only one strait.
There's one, but I heard Leon Panetta say the Straits of Hormuz.
Yeah, he was
He
thinking of
got,
the
he,
old bad Dire Straits. That was
I know. I think he got it confused with that Bravo show. I don't know. Anyway, hey, so Dan, all right, so we heard from the new Ayatollah. We got a new Ayatollah. He's and we're bombing cultural symbols now. It's like we're like making people upset now. They're not going to lay down their arms. I think we've just extended the war maybe another few months, if not years, huh?
I and once again, I hope not,
Yeah,
but the likelihood is that it's going to go at least weeks and
yeah,
possibly months. Uh, I'm more concerned about what the Democratic response is because, as usual, the Democrats end up tripping over their own tongue.
yeah. I don't know right now. In the meantime, to add to the pain, we have this Homeland Security shutdown, and that didn't pass, and everyone's going to be finger pointing, saying, "Oh, the Democrats, it's their fault," and the Democrats are saying we need to talk about the overall budget and it's the Republicans' fault. Meanwhile, long lines, TSA, if you're flying anytime soon, TSA people are a lot of Filipinos, a lot
And so,
of.
what should the Democrats do? What should the Democrats do? I mean, because this was just as much their doing as it was Republicans.
I don't know. I think that they should work harder to to solve this because the pain is coming real. And it's like I was saying earlier that with gas prices high, now people are realizing that there's a real problem, and I don't think people really understood that there was a war. I mean, I was doing these shows at the Fresno Rogue, and the people are. I mean, I was talking to a crowd that generally is up on news and culture because they are normal active citizens of the world. But even there was a sense of you know disbelief and maybe a reluctance to understand exactly where we are. I see people out there with peace signs and protest signs. I mean, it's like,
Yeah. Well, I think it's also more complex than that. This isn't a simple one
mm,
because regardless of the confusion about what the real motivations are, the politically and legally legitimate
mm,
reasons for going to war, which they won't call a war because they don't want to be they don't want to be hooked on liability for not talking to Congress. See, the reality is, once the Democrats are miscommunicating,
mm,
first of all, as commander in chief, the president has the power and authority to commit the military in emergency circumstances. So then the question becomes: is this an emergency? Okay,
right.
and and and, and then those critics who say he has to consult with Congress because only Congress has the power to declare war. My answer to that is, so what?
Yeah.
Korea,
Yeah.
Korea, the
Right.
never-ending war. That's
I
truly
mean,
a never-ending war.
yeah. There's precedent certainly,
Yeah, no,
and right now, yeah, the everyone is miscommunicating the war on both sides, right? The people who
yes,
want it and the
yes,
people who don't want it. I mean, Donald Trump the other day called it an excursion and war in the same interview, and
and yes, and he means incursion.
incursion.
Excursion is like a side trip. You
Well,
know,
that's the thing. He meant, I don't know if he meant incursion. I think he meant it like, oh, this is just an excursion,
side trip.
a brief interlude, right? It's
A
yeah, side trip. Yeah, yeah,
there we go. He
we're
may
we're
have
not.
intended that. You're right. He may have
This is
intended that.
an excursion like a drive-by shooting kind of thing. Drive,
Oh, okay.
international drive-by. But
You know, I have been witness, let me put it that way, to
mm,
situations like that. So
oh yeah,
The Democrats have to, with regard to the funding issue, right, and the
yeah,
fact that the TSA and the DHS services that we depend on, so that
mm,
we can simply travel,
yeah,
okay, even domestically, right, and
mm,
the lines were ridiculous, man. I mean, it was really
yeah.
bad.
Well,
I
I
haven't
just
seen anything that bad in 30 years, you know?
yeah, I'm gonna be flying. Oh, I know, in a month. I hope it's over by then. But I don't know. Well, listen, all these things are now coming to people's attention because firsthand experience. Unless you are, I mean, if you're Filipino and you saw Robert Marzan's face,
Yeah,
amongst the dead, I mean, that was a real that gets you. He's from Sacramento. He's Northern Californian.
yeah,
I'm really yeah, I know that really hit hard. He's I think person of color out of the seven. Uh, I think it hit home to I know Filipinos and I know a lot of people didn't know what he was, and maybe they knew maybe he was a Latino. Maybe they didn't think about, oh, he's a
yeah,
person of color.
he could
Yeah,
facially, he could pass for either.
Yeah, but I just had this feeling, and then when it was confirmed, um, I this is like I'm a Guillermo, you're a Gonzalez. I mean, it's the same thing, right? We got these Spanish surnames. People
Yep.
don't know what we are. So, but the war is coming home. You got more people exposed, more people who were hurt. Marzan was number 6. Now we're up to number 7. Who knows how, if the people who were, seriously injured in a couple of those drone strikes, if they're going to survive. And then you got the gas prices, and then you got TSA, and suddenly, I don't know. Don't you think that Donald Trump should have known better? I mean, he should. Some of these things. I mean, he
No.
knew about dead bodies. He knew that.
Once again, you're attributing full-time sanity to
Ah,
Mr.
yeah,
Trump.
yeah.
Okay, he does not think on the same plane as sane people.
Hmm.
You know,
That's for sure.
he's a part-time occupant of sanity.
Well, it seems that he's gotten some real bad advice from people who really have no business being advisors, except that they like him and will be beholden to him and pledge allegiance. It's the
Well,
sycophantic idea.
you know, Lindsey Graham has been on the outs with Trump because he was slightly critical of him in a couple of instances in
Right.
the past. But recently, have you seen
Oh
how
yeah.
rabid
I
Graham
can't.
is on
I
this
can't.
issue?
I
He
can't
just
believe it.
he's a
Yeah.
kill 'em all guy, you know?
Yeah.
You know,
I. Yeah. It's surprising, but
not to
everyone
me,
who
it's not surprising.
everyone on the sycophantic chain or on the spectrum of sycophancy, it is a spectrum, right? I mean, it ebbs and flows. I mean, look at Marco Rubio. Little Marco is now, the big one of Trump's big saviors. He's going to do Cuba next, right? uh even Vance called Trump Hitler at one point, and now Vance is sort of right there. He's sort of in a pickle because now who's going to get the fallout from the MAGA types? He says, "Oh, no foreign wars, no, for America first." So
Yep,
this is what happens when you dance with Trump.
yep.
You get.
You know, I'm hoping the next target is Patel.
Well, we thought it was going to be Cash Patel with the Olympics, right? There he was in the locker room. We thought, oh, yeah,
Nah,
coming after the
no,
Olympics. That's
nah,
it. But no, no, it was more. It
no.
was more than that. We got the war, we got the affordability. Oh, the latest Cash Patel thing, he's going to have, and this is a release, the FBI is going to be training with uh, MMA fighters from UFC.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, that was one of the things that came out uh, within
The
this week.
FBI already takes martial arts training, and it depends on uh, what your eventual assignment is. I mean, there's
Yeah,
kind of a generic martial arts hand-to-hand combat training, and then there's a more specialized training.
yeah.
So I guess you know uh,
I
they
just
already have people who are proficient in martial arts training them.
they're just
And
trying to put out the good news. The good news. This is stuff happening. Hey, UFC and the
I
FBI
want it. Well,
together,
then you know
together
what,
again.
Mr. Patel. I don't know how old he is, but if he's in within my age range, he should come and see me,
Yeah.
and we can do a little MMA training
Hey,
just for
Patel.
fun.
Yeah, Patel is. I don't know how old he is, but I understand one of the things about him.
I
He
think he's
belongs
14. Mentally, he's 14.
He belongs to an adult hockey league. That's
Yeah,
why he was
so
into hockey. So
yeah.
anyway, so all right, Dan. Look, the news is going to be the news, but here's something that I read. It was on Axios, and
Oh, that's a
they
dangerous left wing group, man.
no, they're pretty. I think they're pretty moderate. But this is something that came out, and it was called the Big Lie. And the big lie is that this is what you think America is divided. You think America is at each other's. Americans are at each other's throat, but they came out with something saying
Oh
that
yeah, we're all
yeah. that
Kumbaya,
yeah, that
kumbaya.
we're not well, no, not that we're kumbaya, but not that we're hopelessly divided, but we're hopelessly engaged in other things, and we're not paying attention. So this is from the column in Axios. Most Americans are too busy for social media, too normal for politics, too rational to tweet. They work, raise kids, coach little league, go to a house of worship, mow their neighbor's lawn, and never post a word about any of it. It says it isn't a small minority. It's a monstrous, if silent majority. It's a monstrous, if silent majority. Most Americans are patriotic, hardworking, neighbor helping, America loving, money giving people who don't pop off on social media or plot for power. And what they're trying to say is that most people agree on most things most of the time. We're not helplessly divided, and the data validates this. And they're just trying to say that they're really saying that maybe Americans should just turn off the news or stop listening to turn off social media and just live their lives and not be down. Because right now, I think as the news hits, and most people are saying the high gas prices and that raises anxiety levels, uh, I and there's no one out there being the consoler in chief, right? The consoler in chief is the guy who's doing all the things that are forcing the gas prices high and is going to war.
And
And
then
no,
he lies about it.
and then he lies about it, right? And so who's out there saying, calm down, it's okay? And no one's trying to be an apologist for Trump, but everyone is just trying to understand. Like I was saying, when I was doing my show in Fresno, there was this sense that people weren't really, they didn't want to hear it. They didn't want to be part of any reality check about the war. The war had just started, when I was doing my shows in Fresno. And now the Axios column cites a Gallup World Poll that was out last week that found Americans are more anxious about their political system than citizens of almost any other country. Yet the yet the data consistently shows this anxiety is driven by the noise, not the neighbors. The system feels broken. The people are not. And they say in a given year, you see hundreds of people frequently enough to apprise or to appraise their character. Are they good people? Would they help shovel after a snowstorm or lift groceries for an aging neighbor? Do they volunteer and give to others? And Axios, the people who write this column, say we bet the answer is resounding yes. This is America's supermajority, what was once known in the Nixon realm as a silent majority. They call it the supermajority. They say the numbers back this up. Americans give 592.5 billion to charity in 2024, a record, with individuals counting for two-thirds of it. So they show these statistics that show that Americans are volunteering, trying to help. They want to be good people, as if that proves that we're not a broken nation, that we're a generous one, where the vast majority quietly do the right thing every day. And then here's their bottom line: the next time your screen tells you America is broken, close it, walk outside, talk to your neighbor, coach the team, go to the town meeting. That's the real America, and it's a hell of a lot better than the one being manufactured for clicks, clout, and cash. And so it's anti social media, but to some degree, it's also anti mainstream media. So, what do you think about that? That we're actually better than we might think if we just looked on social media.
Well, there's no question that there's a lot of common values.
Mm,
Okay. Okay. And there's also no question that not only social media, but mainstream news,
mm,
particularly Fox News and their ilk, right? Newsmax, etc.,
mm,
that you have to look at the audience, right? I've been seeing for almost 20 years that Fox News, we're talking about cable broadcast now, satellite news, right?
yeah.
Not local stations like KTVU, you know. Uh, but Fox News has been doing propaganda more than news.
Yeah.
And when they treat news, when they do actually treat news, and they start with objective set of facts, they twist the interpretation of those facts. Very frequently, when there
Yeah.
are really serious issues, and there's no way you can explain the causes of those problems other than blaming it on policy originating with the Republican Party, right? Or with President Trump or somebody of that ilk, right? They just don't cover the facts.
Yeah.
They just
Yeah.
ignore it entirely, right? And so now they've got a problem because some of their strongest formerly pure MAGA spokespeople, okay,
Hmm.
uh, they're now turned against the war,
Yeah.
and they're not using the same criticisms as the Democrats. They actually sound better in terms of the things that they're using to criticize the war than the Democrats do. Democrats keep saying things like, "We have to end this now." Okay,
Yeah.
that is really knee jerk. Okay, that's really knee jerk. They have to take a serious look of what Donald Trump, his administration, and the Republican Party have gotten us into. Now, the Republicans are hiding behind his lack of contact with the Congress, right? And so, like Democrats, they're saying this is an illegal war.
Yeah.
Okay, this is not an illegal war. This is a
Yeah.
military action commanded by the commander in chief. Okay, and it's as simple as that,
Yeah.
right?
It's not an illegal war, but it is. It's not an official act of war, but it is war, right?
It is war by the standard definition of war.
Yeah.
Okay, they're saying it's not war. Trump himself is avoiding it. Right? He tries to avoid it, but
Yeah.
it usually within the same 20 words. Right? He uses words like excursion and war in the same sentence or in the same two sentences.
Yeah.
Adjacent sentences.
Well, and then all his sycophants can't get it right. You know, did we go in first? Did we force them? Did we, it's this is a real communications problem, and it's hard because when you lie, you're going to have these communications problems. I mean, just like the girls' school when the girls' school was bombed. I wish that Donald Trump.
Especially when you can't remember what you said. You
Yeah,
know,
you can't. Well, that's the thing about
30 words
lying.
ago.
What Donald Trump said yesterday about the girls' school is he
Oh yeah.
said, "Oh, I don't know about that." Well, he knows about that. He
Well, no,
should have just
but the first time that he was asked a question about that, he said it was Iran.
right, right. But I'm saying yesterday he was
Yes,
asked, and
I
he
understand.
said, I know,
I don't
I
know
don't know
about it.
about that."
So
Oh, he know, but he knows about it. And
yeah,
if you were honest, he would have said, "Hey, a girls' school. Look, I'm friends with Epstein. We wouldn't bomb a girls' school."
yeah.
That's what
Oh, yeah.
that's what he should have said.
He
That would have
would,
been the truth. That would have been the
yeah,
truth.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Especially,
Yeah.
well, the telltale question would be, well, how young,
How
or
underage
or
girls.
or or the opposite, how old?
Well,
Too old.
they were girls, not women, so they were under 18, too
Yeah,
old, too. I mean,
and it was really
just young
awful.
enough.
It was really awful. Yeah.
Anyway,
How about, okay? Did you catch up on the reasons
that
that
they bombed. Yeah,
we
because
fired not just
they
one missile. We
they
fired
thought
at
it was
least 2 or 3 missiles,
they thought it was
okay?
a military base. They thought it was part of a military center.
Because why did they think
Old old information.
yes,
But yet they could see right, with their very
you
own
could
eyes
see
that
it
they
from a
had a
drone.
school.
If you
They had
check
a
it out with a
schoolyard.
drone, you'd
Yeah,
know there was a playground there. The
yeah,
the 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 wall that was formerly around the facility was gone, right? There were all kind of
yeah,
markers.
yeah.
They
No,
did it anyway.
it's it's
So,
uh it's
what should
crazy.
happen? What should happen?
Hegseth should resign.
It's not, well, I think he should be questioned. They're going to pull him in front of some committee, and then the Republicans
They
will
should pull him
softball him.
in. I mean, at some point, people just should just see that, just like Chrissy Nome was unfit, Hegseth unfit, Bondi unfit,
See, you
Patel
can't say the
unfit.
same thing. You can't say the same thing about military, especially the people in the Pentagon. Okay, because obviously they've been there before the Trump administration. You
Yeah.
know, and so even though Trump and Hegseth might get rid of generals, and commanders that they don't like, right?
Hmm.
That they feel are a political threat, they're still at least basically competent. Okay,
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
that means that they did something willful, however misinformed they were. They did something willful. What they
Yeah.
should do is they should be called out along with Hegseth. And then, if it's discovered that they understood that that was going on, they made a mistake, you got to penalize them. You have to, they
Yeah.
have to be held accountable,
I
and that
think
has to happen now.
I think pilloried in the public square,
Oh
people
man,
allowed to. I mean, well, this is there are so many reasons why he should leave, but here's the thing. Here's why Donald Trump chose Hegseth. He chose Hegseth because he was an anchorman. He chose Hegseth
yeah,
because he was a
yeah.
he was the pretty boy spokesperson, and Donald Trump wanted pretty boy communicators, and unfortunately, this communicator was is not helping Donald Trump at all. Although Trump seems to think maybe I don't know.
Well, what he
He,
didn't understand is that Hegseth is he's mortally he's wounded by fatal penis envy.
oh yeah,
So what he needs to do is settle the thing by just whipping it out with a ruler and
yeah,
determining, beyond any doubt
yeah.
that he's the man.
Yeah. I just think that you look at people who are you know Defense Department guys, leaders, Rumsfeld, Panetta, name all the Defense Department guys. They had so much more experience than Hegseth. I mean, Hegseth had the only thing Hegseth had going for him was that he was a weekend anchor at Fox News. That's it. That's it. Oh,
Well,
he
he
had
also
some
he
military.
was on certain subjects. He was at least minimally. He made minimally intelligible statements. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
but
So that's why Fox kept him on. He at
yeah,
least by that standard was competent. The problem is he's acting as though he's a military guy
yeah,
just because he was in the reserves, right?
yeah,
He keeps doing, like I said, the mine's bigger thing, acting really aggressive, uh, verbally, okay,
yeah.
as though he has the credibility of a true combat veteran. And all of the combat veterans, except one
Yeah,
that are in Congress,
yeah.
have put him down because of his attitude and the way that he tries to display this faux masculinity.
And the only thing that keeps him propped up is the fact that Donald Trump likes him. That's it. That is it.
Sure.
I mean that's it. Anyway, so all right, so back to this idea that this the Axios column. People aren't following it. They're too busy to follow social media, which is where most of I mean, I think you're right. The mainstream media, especially Fox is propaganda. We know that. But for the most part, I think it's being covered responsibly
It is.
by by the other by the mainstream organizations that people can trust. The New York Times, the Post to a degree. I don't see it every day, but the Post, you know,
But
even the networks. The networks are doing a
yes,
good
they
job.
they do a better job, but who's watching them?
Well, right, and that's the thing. Most people are getting their information from social media, which was the target of this Axios column. Stay away from social media because you're too busy doing all these other things in your life. I think the point of the Axios column really was that, hey, most Americans, there's this monstrous majority that isn't following this, but they will be following it now because gas prices are hitting home. So, and this is going to be a problem for Trump. And when
Yeah.
he starts seeing people worried about that, that's when he's going to try to redefine losing as winning, right?
If that's as far as the common folks, uh, let's say in they're questioning about the causes
Hmm.
of the problems with the higher gas prices and everything else is going to go up too, right? Because
Yeah. Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of
Everything on
stuff
a
gets
truck. Yeah.
delivered by truck. That's what I see pulling up to the grocery stores. That's what I see pulling up to Costco. Okay,
Yeah.
is trucks. And so, if you have higher gas prices, yeah, have you noticed that diesel costs more than gasoline?
Oh, yeah.
At a
Yeah.
lot of
I've noticed that.
it used to be
I,
the other way around, right? The diesel was cheaper, but
well,
but
look,
it's not now.
what are you paying now for gas? I paid 4.89, I think
For
yesterday.
regular, for
Yeah,
regular,
for cheap regular. Yeah.
at the
4.89
at the Costco closest to us, I paid 509 for
for
regular.
regular.
Yes.
Cheap. Oh, wow. I
This is
paid for,
this is 2 nights ago. Oh, and
wow.
by the way, it was 497 that morning. It
Hmm.
went up
Yeah, but
to
you're
505
yeah.
by the afternoon, and then when I got there, it was 509.
Well, your Costco's in the Bay Area, and I'm slightly outside,
That's
and
right.
so, but I paid 4.89. I think. Yes. Well, when did I gas? I guess I gassed up the day before yesterday, and we're both driving responsible hybrid cars.
Yep,
But
yep.
still, you're talking about maybe a buck, at least a buck more than we were paying last week. Maybe more, buck 50, buck 25
Yeah,
more than that.
yeah.
So it adds up. You get you tank up, you get 10 gallons, an extra $10 adds up. No, it's terrible, and I think the more people see that, the more they experience things like, oh, I'm going on a flight, and let's take TSA. Now you can't get there just 2 hours ahead. You got to get there 3 hours ahead or 4 hours ahead,
Well,
and then
yeah.
yeah, and then you might say,
Once
oh, well,
again, what are the
I'll
causes? What are the causes? Okay, are they going to get? They're going to get news about the Strait of Hormuz, and you're going to get news if they understand that. Do they understand that the Iranians can keep this up
yeah,
for the into the indefinite future? Okay,
yeah,
and the Trump keeps saying, but we blasted everything. We destroyed
yeah,
everything. We destroyed their air power. They've got no air defense whatsoever. We can pick targets anywhere we want. We
yeah,
can hit them anytime we want, right? We've
yeah,
sunk, we've sunk, and I don't know how many things, mine ships that miners uh, that he says they sank. 2 days ago, it was
yeah,
16. The last time I looked, he said it was over 20. Okay, Eh, eh, that doesn't matter if they sank all of those things, right? Because these guys are hitting ships left and right. They've done it demonstratively. And have you seen? Remember when G.W. Bush had escorted
yeah,
the last time the Iranians blocked the strait? They were escorted ships through that strait. I don't see Trump doing that right.
yeah.
I don't see
I
the
don't.
military saying, "Let's do this."
The thing is, they should have known, they should have planned for
Yes,
this, and they didn't. They didn't. And anyone who
the
remembered
military
history,
knew. This is
yeah,
where your
right,
point about advising,
yeah,
comes clearly in focus. Okay,
yeah,
the military always knows, man. In international
but
relations and in military intelligence, guess
yeah,
what we do? We
yeah,
lay out scenarios.
yeah.
Okay, three,
Well,
four, five scenarios, and
Kane,
we work them all out.
that was Kane's problem or Kane's issue. He had a good scenario and he had a bad one. I mean, he shared that fact to the news, saying, it could be, it could, if a protracted war could be a possibility. I mean, he was pretty clear about that. It wasn't just going to be a
That's right.
Venezuela,
That's right.
thing. But Trump, gambled and he listened more to Bibi Netanyahu.
Yeah, well, and we established that the last two times we met.
Yeah, yeah,
That it's Netanyahu's call.
yeah,
He's the
and
biggest influence on all of this stuff.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess this is going to be Trump's legacy. Unfortunately, it's going to be he brought America to war. He brought, and it shouldn't be anything that the country can't survive. I mean, I think the economy should be strong, but it's going to go under a significant stressor here, unless the oil reserves. I don't know if the oil reserves are going to do it.
You know
They
what
say
they
it's
did?
not enough.
I did the math. All right, on
Yeah.
the amount, the millions, hundreds of millions of barrels. Right,
Mm.
that's only good for 4 days. At the rate that we use petroleum products in the United States of America, I'm just talking about the United States of America.
Yeah.
It's all of the oil reserves they're releasing here domestically, only good for 4 days. That's that.
No.
So
Four
get
days.
over it. Hey, America, get over it.
Yeah. I don't know. I just 4 days. That's it. Four
That's
days.
it.
That's
As
not.
maybe they'll release some more.
So
Okay,
maybe
maybe they'll
we have
release
to.
some more. But
We
based on
better
what
start.
based on what they've said, this is how
So
much we're going to release.
so
It
what?
sounds like a lot until
So
you look
you're
at how much we consume.
so you're saying, Dan, we should start conserving,
Yeah, it's
start
crazy,
conserving.
man. People. So you get if you're gonna say, "Wow, man, the gas price is too high," you gotta go a couple of steps out and
Yeah.
understand what the causes are. Okay,
Well, one of the things that this column on Axios argues is that, hey, we're too busy to pay attention to war, but I think
I agree with
now's the
that.
time to now's the time to pay attention. Now's the
Well,
time to go to your congressman,
okay,
and and this is going to affect the midterms, right?
that's very real. That's all real. But here's what I've taught for over 50 years.
Yeah.
Okay, it's always time to pay attention.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
If you
yeah.
really believe in democracy, that's a 24/7 thing. You got to
Mhm.
pay attention and then act in a manner that's consistent. If necessary, act in a manner that's consistent with your own interests.
Yeah.
Even if you want to individualize what's best for American society by saying, I'm gonna make that determination by what's best for me, at
Mhm.
least do that intelligently. Now, are you gonna
Well,
tell me that all of those Americans that have so many values in common are engaged in that process on a daily basis?
right now, I would say no. I think a lot of people have got their head in the sand, and there's a lot of sand in the Middle East now. They've got their head in the sand, and they're not thinking about it. And I think there's a certain amount of trust. I think there's a certain amount of well, maybe our congressman can do something, or maybe well, they've done nothing. Maybe a lot of people who say, oh, "Well, I voted for Trump. He's going to do the right thing. He's not terrible."
And,
But
that's
some
that's only the mega few, and it's fewer and fewer.
yeah, well, I think it's his poll numbers are dropping, and the other day when the stock market was dropping, he said, "Oh, it's going to take a couple of weeks, or we've done everything," and then the market reversed, and he was hoping it would stay. I know.
You got Republican members of both the Senate and the House that are appearing on all news stations saying this is only going to be a short term thing. This is only a short term thing. There's going to be a little bit of pain, but you got to make a sacrifice. The worst
Yeah,
of those guys was Lindsey Graham, right?
yeah,
You got to
right,
think about what we're doing. We are saving the world. You know,
yeah.
we're saving the world. Okay,
Wow, saving the world. Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's a little bit
Actually,
of hardship, paying a little bit more for gasoline at the pump.
yeah.
Um,
And really, all those Republicans, they're just saving their ass. I'm saving my ass. I don't want to be primaried. I'm saving my ass.
especially
And
in wimpy Lindsey Graham's case, man. He's such an
well,
embarrassment.
Lindsey Graham,
I mean,
he
you
ebbs.
know,
Yeah, he ebbs
Comer
and
Comer
flows.
is just Comer is a dummy. Okay,
Yeah,
Comer is a freaking dummy. But
yeah.
I forgot the senator's name from Louisiana, Kennedy.
Oh, Kennedy,
He's a
Kennedy.
dummy. Okay,
He's
but
dumb.
he's
He's dumb.
he's more intelligent than Comer. Okay,
Yeah,
Lindsey Graham is a smart guy. He's a lawyer. He knows this stuff. He was former JAG. You
yeah.
know,
But here's the thing about Lindsey Graham. Smart like a fox, or dumb like a fox. Dumb like a fox. And because
That's
that
it.
he's been back and forth. Remember, he had it with the Trump. Yeah, that's it. They were off the train. Now he's back
Oh
on the
yeah.
train. Off the train. Off the train. Yeah, you can't trust him, but people in South Carolina love him. So I don't know. I don't know. I think it's really problematic. What can the ordinary American, ordinary Filipino, what can they do right now? You're suggesting maybe start conserving, start. How do they stand up and be counted? Oh, Dan is frozen. Oh, he'll have to come back. He'll have to come back. Let's see if he comes back. Now he raises an interesting question about the politicians. The politicians are just playing to their self-interest, but when will they start to pay attention to us? And I don't know if Dan's coming back. I mean, maybe he has an issue with his machine. Anyway, I just think it's at this point, going back to that Axios column that I was reading, I think it's right. A lot of people aren't really engaged yet, but they will be. They will be as the price at the pumps impacts them. They start seeing the prices of groceries go up, and then people say, "Hey, we elected this guy to keep us out of foreign wars. We elected him to make America first, to make America great again, and I can't afford my groceries. I can't afford my utility bill. I can't afford anything. Uh, I can't afford my rent." And look at those TSA folks. I mean, are they not the ultra Americans? TSA stands for tough shit America. You know, I mean, I don't understand. Some of them without paychecks. Most of them a lot of them are quitting now. A lot of them are hanging on, saying, "Hey, I guess if I take my sick leave, I can work a second job. I can moonlight." And there's Donald Trump right at the State of the Union address. Oh, we're in the golden age of America. Yeah, hey, no tax on tips. Hey, that's me. I'm Mister No Tax on Tips. Hey, how many people get tips? I mean, I'm not talking about going out on the street with a can and asking for tips, although I know what that feels like. But man, the lines that Trump's throwing out there now, it's like he doesn't remember what he ran for, and people are hurting. People are hurting. I think as more people are hurting, oh, there he is. So there you are, Dan. What do you think? What should people do?
Wow. You know what? My that was really strange because it wasn't just my internet service. My computer actually stopped.
Oh,
Scared the hell out of me.
it took a
Yeah.
little long. Hey, well, so what should people do? What should people do?
First of all, regardless of their party affiliation, they should get on the stick, make phone calls, and talk to their people in Congress. Okay. They should also reach out to friends and relatives in other states that have Republican congresspeople and talk to them about the war issue directly. Okay, stick
Yeah,
to the freaking topic, right? It's the
yeah,
war,
yeah.
and they have to. I would consult with veterans, and ask them what their opinions are about what should be done. Because see, it's really much more complex than Democrats who come out and say this has to end now. That's a big
Mm,
mistake. It's a big mistake.
mm. Oh,
We,
oh my! Oh, what happened? You there?
I'm here, but I can't see you. Okay, there you
Yeah,
go. Wow. Uh, it's a big mistake because then it would be the equivalent of the Afghanistan pullout, right? It's just
yeah.
not responsible military thinking. Once you get engaged in military hostilities, you have to deal with it accordingly. It's war. It is war.
It's
You
war.
may
Yeah,
not
call
call
it
it
what it
war,
is.
but it is. And you have
Yeah.
to deal with it accordingly. Okay. Yes, it's violent. Yes, in this instance, it was the rationale was confusing,
Yeah.
But like a lot of Republicans say, most of the reasons that have been stated by Trump and his administration as reasons for the war are legitimate reasons. The question is, are they based on fact?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, legitimate reasons, but there could have been alternatives to reach those goals if you wanted to make sure that Iran had no nuclear capability. Uh, that
that's
that
right.
that Obama plan
Well, but
actually
that again, you put
was
your finger on
working.
the problem.
Yeah.
If it's anything having to do with Obama, it's bad. It's as simple as
Yeah.
that. He has to undo everything that Biden did. He has to undo, especially the things that a black man did.
Yeah. Well, that's his maximalist notion of what he's capable of doing, and also just while in power, just undoing everything predecessors did. Anyway, well, Dan,
Particularly Democratic.
particularly Democratic, we're about out of time. In the meantime, one of the good news stories today, I believe, is Alyssa Liu Day in Oakland,
Oh yeah, it is.
and then they're feting her,
I'm,
and
I'm
people
hoping
are
I
get
recorded that.
they're yeah, people are coming around to this idea about why there's this debate nationally. They're wondering why there's this debate between about Alyssa Liu and Eileen Gu. Eileen Gu, the American, grew up in San Francisco, who did freestyle skiing in
Yeah,
the
did it for
Olympics
China.
for China and won three medals. And then there's Alyssa Liu, who came out of retirement for America, and she skied for America and won uh, the women's title. And a lot of people say, I think it's good. Asian Americans have felt this, or I brought it up, when it was happening. But I'm glad that people are starting to see that there's a real, what the debate is about, and it has to do with self interest. It has to do with you know loyalty. I think. I
Oh
think.
yeah, sure. Well,
Eh,
you know, uh,
it,
it's about
it's
who's American. It's still
yeah.
about who's American.
Well, this is the thing, Eileen.
And we may
Eileen.
think that we've earned our way,
Yeah.
but it's not. We don't make whether or not we achieve that goal.
Mhm,
We don't define that.
yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
rest of
And
America that defines it.
I think this is the problem. This is my problem with Eileen Gu because she does that. People see her Asian face, and if they disagree with her, that they see us as that. They see us as not being loyal, not being patriotic.
That's right.
Meanwhile, they could easily look at Alyssa Liu and say, "Here's this joyful, patriotic American who skated for America. That's great." But no, they'll people will choose Eileen
Alyssa
Gu.
Liu will be regarded as the exception
Oh yeah,
because
right.
Gu validates their generalized perception. That's the way they want to see non-white people, and especially Orientals.
Yes.
Okay,
And yeah. And that's why Eileen Gu is dangerous for Asian Americans. Regardless of how you feel about her choice, she can do whatever she wants. She's an American, but she really and the thing is, she's skiing for China, but she can't be a dual citizen because they don't allow it in China. She is
that's right.
really essentially a Chinese national or an exception. She's an exception, but she's an American national because by virtue of the 14th Amendment, she's an American.
You know, under other circumstances, uh, the Chinese government or another government that doesn't recognize dual citizenship would say, if you wanna ski for us, you gotta renounce your American
Right,
citizenship.
right. You got to renounce. Yeah, and the thing about Alyssa Liu, her father was a Tiananmen Square protester,
Yeah, that's right.
and was in some hot water with the Chinese government. So it's almost a perfect setup. Here's this American Chinese, essentially,
A
who
refugee.
immigrated here.
Yeah, he's a
You
political
know,
refugee.
He's a political refugee, daughter, Olympic champ, American. They're the ideal.
And
But
Oakland,
people will
Oakland.
generalize with goo and say, ooh, can we trust these Asians? Can we trust them? Is there a price? Is there a price
And
on their,
why don't you ask our mutual friends who are among the 3 and 4 star generals
oh,
whether
yeah.
or not they feel that America trusts agents.
Well, what do you think? No?
You know, I think the fact that they were able to rise to those high positions,
Hmm.
okay, and maintain command of whole military installations on our shores, right?
Hmm.
They're not in foreign installations. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
So they trusted them enough for that. That even those things have limits, though. You know,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I wanted to bring it up because this is Alyssa Liu Day in Oakland, and
Oh,
I
it's
think it's
great.
wonder.
I mean, I
I
just
think
like
it's
her attitude. She's
yeah.
got a
I think
great attitude.
yeah, and a great haircut. I think I think
So
the
are you gonna I was wondering whether or not you're gonna go do it because I
well, I
remember
got to get the halo. The halo.
yeah,
I don't know how
yeah,
many
I remember
rings.
when you were bopping, Mr.
The,
Rice's, Mr.
yeah.
Rice's hairdo.
Well, the Jerry curls. The Jerry
Yep, the
curls.
Jerry
Yeah,
curls.
and Jerry
Je
curls.
well, but
And
they weren't Jerry curl. If you say Jerry curl, that's a product.
yeah, that's right.
That's a Johnson product.
No,
Uh,
I was pre Bruno Mars. Pre Bruno Mars. Pre Bruno Mars. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
hey, anyway, so Dan, my show this weekend,
There it
Emil
is.
Amok, Anchorman. Here I
There,
am
man.
with my co-anchor, Walter Cronkite.
Looking
Um,
good, looking good in bow ties.
yeah, this is this we were. I know we could have been at the Oscars or something. I don't know. We were pre selfie. They didn't have selfies back, so we actually had a real photographer take our picture. I'm going to be talking about that picture and
That
about
thing
being
is
a
gold. That is
what
gold, man.
what is gold.
The picture.
The picture of me and Walter. I know. I mean, at the time. Well, I'll talk about the picture. March 14th at 4 p.m. That's a good older Americans time. Older American matinee, 4 p.m. Saturday, March 14th, and then Sunday, March 21st at 7 p.m. That's a good time. 7 p.m. on a Sunday. March, of course, it's Oscar night, but who cares about the Oscars? We know that Sinners is going to win with all the Filipino connections of Sinners. So I think let's see, Monday, March 16th at 7 p.m. Let me give you the QR code there, and then Thursday at March 19th at 7 p.m. And this is my run at the Playground SF Comedy Fest at Playground. You can go to get your tickets at that QR code or go to playground-sf.org/box office. And it's at 1695 18th Street. Now you were at Emil Muck 69, Dan,
Yes, I
and this
was.
this might be Emil Muck 69 meets Walter Cronkite.
I was
Uh,
accompanied by our lovely wives.
yeah, and I think the thing about yeah, that's a nice theater, soft seats. You
It
don't
is a
have to
very it is a really cool theater.
yeah, you
Also,
don't
the angle of the incline
yeah.
is really good.
Yeah, the
You know,
the
even if somebody wore a hat
yeah.
in the
Ah,
aisle below you, you can still see. You still got a full
that's
view
a
of the full stage.
That's a good point. I was sitting in the audience yesterday during rehearsal and I was looking down and amazed that you could see the screen in the back. You could see
Yep,
me from wherever you are.
yep,
It's a 99 seat theater. It's really nicely situated. It's a local treasure, really, in
it is.
Potrero Hill, the Potrero stage.
Also,
And
also parking is a little easier than you might think.
Ah, yes, it is because if you go, during the off hours, there's a lot of businesses there, and they're closed at night, or and like you said, parking is a lot easier. It's easy to get to, and I hope people make it. Emil Amok, Anchorman, the news made me do it. Uh, I'm, it's about my news addiction. It's about my news addiction and
You know,
why.
that should just be your epitaph, man.
Yeah,
That
the
should
news
be your
made me do it.
epitaph, because there's nothing truer than that statement.
The news made me do it. Well,
Yep,
thank you, thank
me
you.
too.
Yeah, well, the thing, news is life, right? News
It
is what's
is,
happening in
it is,
life, and
it is. But
and
it has to
you,
be done honestly. It has to be done with integrity. It has to be actual news. It has to be actual journalism.
yeah. Well, that's why I cite my he's a kind of mentor, Spalding Gray, who said it's had his issues with journalism and what could be said and what is true to one's poetic or artistic vision. That's how you get beyond the he said, she said, and all that of news. Anyway, so I hope you can make. I hope to see you there. Hey, did I say this thing is free with donation? Free with donation, which means you can go there and say, "Look, Emil, I can't pay anything now, but maybe I'll Venmo you something in a week when my paycheck comes in. I'm a TSA guy. Yeah,
When the
it's
price of
okay.
gas goes down.
Yeah, it's free with donation. Free with donation. So essentially, pass the hat. And how can I do it? Well, not as easily as playground-sf.org, which has a nice grant that allows for me to come and enjoy the theater. And really, it's a pleasure to work with them and come see the show.
Really nice people.
Yeah, this is the show that I'm going to take to San Diego, also to Winnipeg. I'm going to Winnipeg and also Atlanta to see if anyone's playing around with those ballots. I'll be in Atlanta, making sure that nothing
What
happens.
month are you gonna be in Atlanta?
No, I'll be there during the campaign months, but not during the big month. But I'll be there. I'll be there to check it out.
Do they
Of
have any
course,
special elections going for June?
I don't know. I don't know, but I'm actually going to be there in May. So at the Atlanta
The runoff.
Atlanta branch.
The
Is there a
runoff
runoff? Oh, the
is
runoff.
in April, I think. It's
Oh,
in
I
April.
might be there in time. That's right. They're going to have a runoff for Marjorie Taylor Greene,
Yep.
her district. So I don't know if I'm going to actually. Well, I think she's outside Atlanta. I'll have to check. I'll have to check. Anyway,
Harris
Emil,
Harris has got a chance. He's that guy's got a hell of a pedigree.
the major, right? The
Retired,
general,
no, general.
retired
Retired
general, general.
Marine general.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a race to watch, and yeah, but Marjorie Taylor Greene, she converted at the last minute, so maybe she'll bring other people like
What
her,
what is she, Muslim? Is she Muslim now?
huh?
Is she
No,
Muslim?
no, 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 no. She's she converted to rational, rational. It is so.
Whatever that is.
Anyway, all right, Dan.
Yes.
Thank you very much for joining me. We'll see you again soon. There he goes, my friend, yours, Daniel Phil Gonzalez, College of Ethnic Studies, Asian American Studies.
Blessings,
Uh,
everyone. Peace out.
yeah, and there he goes, and we'll see Dan again soon. We're going to do another library show in May, so I'll tell you more about that. But meantime, Emil Muck Anchorman, don't miss it this weekend, Saturday, then Sunday, then Monday, and then Thursday. I'll pop up again tomorrow, active desperation to say, come see the show, come see the QR code, or click the QR code. Look what people have said. People have said nice things about this, about my performances. All right, not this specific. Every show is different, so go come see all four. Come see all four. It's free. It's free. Anyway, all right. We like to close with a little loving kindness. That's the thing. I mean, I know I read that Axios thing, And they call it the big lie is that America is paying attention to social media, and that America is paying attention to things in political things, and America is divided. No, no. These Axios guys says no. There are there are statistics that say that Americans aren't divided. They aren't, butting heads. They actually like each other. It's a monstrous minority. No, they called it a monstrous majority, not a silent minority, or no, not a silent majority. They call it a monstrous majority. Most Americans are patriotic, hardworking, neighbor helping, America loving, money giving people who don't pop off on social media or plot for power. And so their RX is turn off social media, except this show, of course, and stop believing all that stuff. We're better. We are better than everything you hear. We just weren't better the last couple of years, or last year when we voted this guy in, and now we see. I've heard people have like a reckoning. I apologize, America. I voted for this man. I've heard people on C-SPAN say that. And it's true. I think a lot of people are making that U turn and saying, oh man, why did I do that? Anyway, loving kindness. Go to do your favorite guru. This is my favorite guru, one of my favorite gurus. I have many, but Sharon Salzberg, loving kindness. And so, as I wish for me, I wish for you. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you be happy. And may you live with ease. That's what we're looking for. Ease, ease, ease. Hey, Emil Guillermo here. Till next time. Mahal